Okay, now we have our two final shapes that we have to draw in oblique projection. Now I'm going to be drawing these two at the same time. So first we have this hollow shape, which has to be drawn on this side of the paper. Here we have our starter lines. Now rather than a corner, we have just a piece of this carpet already finished for us. Now as you could see, all of these shapes are going upwards to the left rather than upwards to the right. So that's the difference here. So this starter line is representing this corner, this oblique corner right here. Now I'm going to double check. So this line is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 squares long. And this line right here is also 6 squares long. So they're equal. Now let's continue by drawing these two lines right here. But first, let's draw this line at 45 degrees to the left. So this line right here is 6 squares going diagonally to the upper right. Okay, so place your ruler diagonally at 45 degrees. Make sure to place it always from corner to corner, okay, of the squares. Count the squares. Place your pencil at the end of the line and draw a line. Make sure that you draw light lines at this point. Now let's continue by drawing this line, which is 2 squares long. Okay, I cannot see the rest of the line because it is behind this square hollow structure. Place your ruler horizontally. Count 2 squares and draw a line. Now, I'm going to continue by drawing this green front view right here. However, I must locate where this point is. So this point is 1 square downwards from the end of this line right here. So count 1 square downwards, mark it with a dot if it helps, or a cross, and start counting the squares upwards. So this line is 4 squares going upwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and draw a line. Now let's draw this horizontal line, which is also 4 squares long. And make sure to only draw light lines. So go at the end of the previous line, count 4 squares and draw a line. There you go. Now let's go 4 squares downwards for the other vertical line. Four squares downwards and draw a line. Now let's draw these two horizontal lines, which are 1 square thick. One square on this side and another square on the other side. Now let's draw these two vertical inner lines, which are 3 squares upwards. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Place the pencil at the end of the line and draw a line. Do the same on the other side and connect these two lines together. Now to make it easy for you, I'm going to draw the vertical and horizontal lines at the back. Now let's find the corner, which is 1 square downwards to that point. So let's go to this point, the end of the line of the carpet, and go 1 square downwards. Mark it with a dot if it helps, or a cross, and count 4 squares upwards. Remember that it has to be equal in length as the front, because both the front and the back are the same length, okay? Both of them are squares, but in a hollow shaped form. Now let's draw the horizontal line, which is 4 squares to the right. Now let's join the points together to form those corners that we see. So let's start by drawing the outer corners. Place your ruler at the end points and connect these two lines together. Let's do the same for this corner right here, and for the other ones. Connect those two corners together. Okay, so those are the outer corners. Now we have to draw this inner corner right here. Now the reason why this is short is because the rest of the line is hidden behind the side of this hollow shape. I'm only seeing just a little bit of what I could see on the inside of this hollow shape. So the first one is ready. Now let's continue. Let's move on to this oblique bench right here. And we have to draw this bench on this side of the paper right here. Now here we have a number of starter lines. So these two lines here represent these two base lines. This corner represents this corner right here. And these 3 lines represent this oblique corner at the top. So let's start by drawing the front, the green shaded area of this bench. Let's start from this line right here and draw this vertical line. So this vertical line is 4 squares long. So count 4 squares and draw a line. Now let's connect these two corners right here. You can count just to make sure, but you already have the starter line already there for you. All you have to do is to connect these two corners together. So start from this corner and end at the end of the other baseline. Now let's draw the inner vertical lines, which are 1, 2, 3 squares upwards. Do the same for the other line. It's gonna end up at the same line right here. Now let's continue with the horizontal line by connecting the two vertical lines together. Moving on to the seat, let's continue this line from this point right here. So that line is 3 squares to the right. And let's connect these two corners right here. And like that, we have finished the front of our bench. Now I'm going to continue by drawing the vertical and horizontal lines at the back. So let's start from this corner, right here. So this line is already finished for us. Now let's continue by drawing this vertical line right here. And same as the previous lines, this line is 4 squares downwards. Make sure to include the already finished line that is already provided for you while you count. Now let's continue by drawing the seat. So this seat is 3 squares to the left. And let's continue by drawing this vertical line, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 squares downwards. Okay, now all that's left for you to do is to connect the corners together, and you'll be finished. So first two corners connected, move on to the next ones. There you go. Now we have an inner line right here. And let's connect the final two outer corners right here at the top. And let's not forget the inner corner, as in this is an outer corner, but it's located on the inside part of the hollow part of this bench. Okay, so we're only going to see just a little bit of this line, as the rest of the line is hidden by the side of this bench. Okay, now let's darken the outlines by going over the lines for a second time. So go over each line once again to make the outlines darker. Okay, now all is left for me to do is to shade the sides. So the front is shaded in green. Whatever I see from the top is shaded in red, and whatever I see from the sides is shaded in blue.